Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Ball again on 2nd down. Broke a tackle, but not much room there. Just up past the 25, no further. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 19 yards. First down,
Paul on a give up the middle. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Credit that sack to Travis Jones. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, and for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And the Jets will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Ball again on 2nd down. 41 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing. At their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Back to throw here. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Here's the Jets punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Ambry Thomas up to make the play defensively.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And the slot man goes in motion left. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Play action. It's Jackson. He's got his man downfield. That's Bateman. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Ravens are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. And the drive starts with a completion left side. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down? Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do. On second down, a run with Dobbins.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Odafe Oweh in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Taking in left side, it's Wilson. So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going up top. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 12-yard line. That's back-to-back drives that have looked pretty good. The offense was moving the ball, but in both cases, the defense comes up with a big INT to get off the field.
How about the layers of intrigue that continue to get added as we watch this game unfold? Both offenses, they're a little bit discouraged with how their drives ended. How will each respond now and can either mount another positive series that ends in points for their team?
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Now Jackson back into his end zone. And a quick throw here that's complete. Well, that gives him a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. So it's a victory here for the New York